hiccups now. This is staff nurse father from Bhatia Hospital. 7 years back, 65-year-old male, non-diabetic, normotensive, severe pain in upper abdomen, postprandial, and hiccups. Severe hiccups. He came to me. He had a pallor. He had lost a lot of weight, but there was no lymph node, no icterus, no edema of it, no lump palpable in abdomen, no organomegaly, only epigastric and supraumbilical tenderness. We did a barium. Barium showed probably duodenal pathology, duodenal obstruction. Upper GI scopy, post-bulbar means the second part of the duodenum, there was a narrowing. My scope could not go beyond second part of narrowing. I took biopsy. Biopsy was non-conclusive. We did a CT scan. CT scan showed head of the pancreas tumor infiltrating into the D3, and the vomiting was because of the duodenal obstruction. Because of the vomiting, there was severe esophagitis and there was hiccups. So we referred to surgeon. We did a bypass surgery. His gastrojejunostomy we did. His vomiting stopped. His hiccups stopped. He felt better. But malignancy was there, so he continued losing weight. About 6 weeks after the surgery, again he came with severe hiccups. Severe hiccups. Sodium was 112. So remember this, whenever severe hiccups in an elderly person, a diabetic person, hyponatremia is one of the very, very important cause of vomiting or hiccups. And if you don't identify this, person will become unconscious. So hyponatremia is a very important cause. We treated hyponatremia and hiccups improved. We discharged him, but about 9 months later he died. Another this person, 53-year-old Supreme Court lawyer, very big man, very high profile lawyer, and he had a very uncontrolled diabetes. So supposed to be a very big man in his field. He was operated for nasal pathology by an ENT surgeon, and severe hiccups started, so he was referred to me. I was in my clinic, they called me up. There's a 52-year-old male with a severe hiccups, operated for some nasal pathology. On the telephone only I said, this is hyponatremia, just do serum sodium, and treat sodium, will be alright. I'll come in afternoon to see him. Serum sodium was done, 140. So this is what is the power of clinical medicine. I didn't have to see that person. I didn't have to go to hospital to see him. On telephone I said, this is a hyponatremia. So this hyponatremia corrected, he improved. Again he came back 2 weeks later. Severe vomiting again, severe hiccups again hyponatremia. He came 3 to 4 times in 6 months. And his hyponatremia was because of salt-losing nephropathy related to the diabetes. Salt-losing nephropathy. His diabetes had affected his kidney. He had a minimal chain nephropathy now, and he was losing sodium from the kidney. Sodium was not absorbed from the loop of Henle, and he was becoming hyponatremic, and he was mildly hypertensive, so he was not taking sodium, enough sodium. This is another person. Okay. Okay. I thought I'll cover more and more so I can give you more. So I'll go a little slow now. Okay. I'll go a little slow. The other person operated in Bridge Kennedy Hospital for some TIA, infarct he had, and this person was given intravenous steroids for the TIA. And he was probably mildly diabetic. He had severe hiccups. Severe hiccups. Most probably related to the steroids. Most probably related to the steroids. And we stopped steroids. We started treatment for the acidity, hyperacidity, and his hiccups stopped. What is hiccups? Hiccups is spasmodic, involuntary contractions of the muscles of the inspiration, not only the diaphragm, but all the muscles of inspiration. There's the lower intercostal muscles, the diaphragm, and upper abdominal muscles. They all contract with closure of the glottis. Glottis is not completely closed, but almost closed. That's why you get a sound. The sound in hiccups is because of the closure of the glottis. Hiccups, by and large, it is transient, not significant, and benign, almost 90% of time, and it stops on its own. It's mainly related to the food and mainly to the alcohol and drugs. The moment you stop alcohol and drugs, and put him on a liquid diet, it stops. And without medicine, it disappears. And simple measures like breath holding or drinking cold water or hanging up probably vanilla ice cream also, or Valsalva's maneuver, it stops. But it is pathologic. If it is more than 48 hours, person cannot sleep, person cannot breathe, and he has probably organic disease like a myocardial infarct or is operated. What happens with hiccups? Why should you treat it? It produces sleep deprivation. Person becomes restless. He cannot sleep at night time. It interferes with his eating. It interferes with his breathing. And he goes into depression because of the hiccups. Also hiccups, many causes. First we go to the organic causes. Any esophageal pathology, by and large esophagitis, hiatus hernia and esophagitis. The various causes of esophagitis. Reflux, GERD, gastroesophageal reflux is the commonest cause of esophagitis. Gastric disorders, acute gastritis due to alcohol, drugs or stress or gastric ulcers, any duodenal ulcer, any acute hepatitis or liver abscess or pyemic liver abscess, cholecystitis, gallbladder pathology, subdiaphragmatic abscess, or any peritoneal pathology or ascites, peritonitis. Mediastinal lymph nodes, mediastinal tumor, pleural pathology, parenchymal pathology, pericarditis, myocardial infarct, and diaphragmatic irritation also can produce hiccups. These are all organic causes. Metabolic causes, uremia, diabetes, electrolyte disturbance, most important. So these three you must remember in your practice of history taking. Ask patients got any renal disorders, ask about diabetes or uncontrolled diabetes, and if you get the answer yes, think of hyponatremia. CNS, any CNS pathology in a brainstem can produce hiccups. ENT causes, any ENT causes, ear causes can produce hiccups. Neck tumor, cervical pathology can produce hiccups. Or lastly, psychogenic. Psychogenic, you will see in your practice very well. How do you approach it? CBC, ESR. ESR very high is organic. WBC count very high is organic. Hemoglobin low, organic. So anemia, high WBC count, ESR very high, think of organic causes. Sugar for the diabetes and glycosylated hemoglobin. Serum creatinine and electrolytes and calcium. Hypocalcemia, hypercalcemia both. Thyroid disorders can produce X-ray chest for the pleural effusion or pneumonia or a mediastinal enlargement. So X-ray chest is for the pleural effusion, mediastinitis, and for the pneumonia. X-ray abdominal staining for the air fluid level or any intestinal obstructions. USG for the gallstones, liver abscess, and lymph nodes in upper abdomen. Upper GI scopy is for the hiatus hernia, reflux esophagitis, the other causes of reflux. And if all this is normal, then CT scan abdomen, HRCT chest.